Into the game we go. Liquid versus Wildcard. A big David versus Goliath matchup, like we said. Just an early little pause to fix up some issues. Audio. Triangle, everything. I mean, Big Num, the Chen, both are in pretty good positions to try and rotate to the mid lane early on. And Invoker's pretty gankable, right? You just get a dust, you could probably run him down.
He is if you're able to get past like Insane or Boxy, right? Because if you look at the jungle battle, I don't think Weaver outtrades the Bin. Maybe Chen's a little stronger than the Murta, but at least you'll know that the Chen is in the area, right? And Tinker's not really a dangerous setup in any way.
We'll see how it goes here. Off to the laning stage. Game number 1. First game of this stream. First game of the first day of Fissure Universe Episode 4. It'll be a very exciting tournament up ahead of us.
Something we did mention was Wildcard got 3 runes too.
So the Alchemist bonus. Nice little additional bit of money. I'll see what they can really do with it. As I feel like, of course, I know, before people come at me, I know these bounty runes are important and whatnot, but, you know, unless you can really convert that into maybe a very quick, small, early item to get you an advantage in the laning stage, yeah, maybe you get some more consumables, or maybe you get a stick faster. It's probably most impactful for the mid laners trying to work their way towards that bottle.
It is, but I guess Nisha's not gonna buy bottle anyway, right, on this Invoker.
That's true. Rune control is still going to be a very important factor, though, I'm sure. So it's what's going to be enabling them to make plays. Although, I feel like we're back to the old days of Invoker, right? Like, there was this whole period of time where it was double Wraith Band shenanigans, and then suddenly you're just an auto-attacking maniac, which is fun and all, but I like this whole Sunstrike-focused Invoker. It's a lot more exciting. Boxy, in a lot of trouble, level 1 already being run down by Yamson. The punch is gonna come out and first blood is drawn. Wildcard put one on the board, very nicely done.
Yeah, it's just because Boxy went to the side to have to kind of contest the small cam block. Gets mana burn twice, had no mana, and comes back level 2 first on both Wildcard heroes. No real way for Sableye to help him there. Oh man, bit of damage. It's just the typical level 2 spike, right?
Yeah. I'm curious to see just how well this Bane does, because you mentioned that it's a good matchup into the Weaver. I mean, I understand that he can brain sap and keep himself sustained, but apart from that, it just... Maybe somewhere down the line you see like a nightmare setup into the Avatars and then that really threatens him, but the ball is still kind of annoying.
Yeah, but you have Tiny for that, you're okay. He is protected, right? Like, you look at all these units, but you have Invoker, you have Magnus, you have Tiny, and there's a lot of AoE to kind of go around to deal with all the weaknesses of Bane, I want to say.
Sure.
Also knowing Liquid, Boxy will probably move down here before the Beast is level 5 and they'll just kind of grief the safe lane. I think this game's gonna come down to like who makes the first move towards the bot lane, because if Beast dives once, it's kind of hard to help him, right?
I mean, I feel like the common story with Beast is just like, okay, you know, even if your lane doesn't go super good, you can always retreat back to the jungle, farm it with axes. Is that not the case this game?
I think you're right, but at the same time, like, again, I feel like the supports of Wildcard are gonna have a hard time, like, moving in there, you know? Usually if you go in to punish this Beast, let's say Bane walks in, he gets to sleep, Tiny comes over. Hold on, a little bit of a scuffle. Nothing really gonna happen. Just some EXP from Big Num from the Hive Mind.
Yeah.
Gotta spam that 2-man swarm and level up.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried this Hive Mind Weaver yet. Have you sort of given it a go? Because it feels like when you look at those tiny EXP numbers, it doesn't really feel super significant, but I'm sure it really adds up.
I feel like throughout the game, maybe you get... I don't know, man. It ain't significant, that's for sure. But you also can't make it too significant, right? That'll be like so broken. Imagine this Weaver swarms you twice in a day, he's just 1 level higher than you. Where do you draw the line, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we did talk a little bit about this mid lane matchup being important already. We talked very much about the heroes, but we haven't really mentioned these players, right? RCY, maybe a name that you're not necessarily familiar with if you haven't been following NA Dota for maybe the past 1 year or so. very, very young Filipino-American prodigy coming out. He's been impressing on the mid lane. And it's funny because that kind of feels like the Nisha story, right? Of course, coming from very different regions, coming from very different backgrounds and experiences, but Anisha was also once a young buck himself, putting a lot of people's attention on him. And I mean, here he is, some years later, really becoming the biggest thing in Dota, winning TI. You know, he's got all the accolades, and now it kind of feels like RCY, it's a bit of a proving ground for him. He's done well in terms of the NA scene, and maybe even some battles against SA as well. But yeah, up against Nisha, that's going to be a bit of a tough challenge. He seems to be holding his own though, 25-11 in the mid lane on his Tinker, doing very well up against that Invoker.
Yeah, he's doing great here. He's pretty happy with the laning phase. We haven't really seen any Sunstrike kills in side lanes either, so lane's going, I want to say, pretty good for Liquid other than his mid lane, but again, this Invoker hero, you don't care too much. As long as you're not dying, you eventually get the Midas. You are going to get network from Sunstriking here and there. Boxy already. Lane, Samurai gonna eat some damage. Boxy's just gonna be focusing on stacking. Gets the D-ward in the mid lane too.
So I've been seeing a lot of these Magnuses go for the Eternal Empowerment, right? When they just made the changes to the facets.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Back and forth, pull you back, the repositioning, especially against not so mobile heroes.
Yeah, if I had to theorycraft, I'll say like this game there's no counter for Harpoon Skewer, so I want to buy Harpoon at some point, so I play right click. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of want to make sure your items and your skill build lines up. Just min-max that as much as possible. No shenanigans with the Wisdom Shrines here. One apiece, Liquid and Wildcard. It's been honestly a bit more of a quieter early game than I expected. I thought things were going to start blowing up. Maybe some twin gate rotations, you know. You said it's only a matter of time before Boxy comes down here and griefs the beast lane. Has yet to happen. Insania will be the one making the first move to the twin gate, looking for a target, but Wildcard backing up to safety. Yeah, one of the benefits of the Alchemist. So many new camps for him to farm around this area. He can just kind of remain pretty safe.
It's also really hard to go into the upper side of the jungle, right? Speed in a bit of trouble. Yamsun's here though.
Do they have the damage to kill speed? He has the Fairy Fire, the Sunstrike, looks to finish him off. Immediate TP away from Saberlight. Extremely heads up play there, seeing the concoction come out. Good setup. They did not even need Insania there.
He's gonna level up from this though. The Hive Mind so close. Yeah, a little bit of a rotation. Nothing much, just a small kill onto Chen. Saberlight does have to go home for it, but nice kill for Nisha. This is what you want, right, as Invoker. You want your team to be fighting. He's super close to the Midas. You drag in pressure away from the Invoker too, which is, I think, pretty important when you play as hero. These mids that don't really want to, like, they just want to push out lane and jungle. Like, you really don't want attention in the lane. It's like the best way to play.
A Wildcard, they seem to have been preoccupied anyway. I don't think they would have been able to bring much attention to the mid lane. We were theory crafting about maybe some early rotations from the supports to mess Nisha up or try and put some pressure on him, but no. Pretty free pathway towards that Midas, despite being the lowest net worth call right now. It's pretty tight across the board. No surprises that Yamsun is the one winning out in this early stage. EP in from RCY, I guess their priority is just to clear the creep wave because that laser went out on a melee creep. But yeah, Nisha's gonna match that in the mid lane.
I guess for Liquid, they just want to pull pressure away from Mickey. He's just going to be fine down here because Beastmaster did go back to the jungle at some point. Maybe feeling that having Saberlight lane and just Yamsun going to the jungle early on is more beneficial for them.
Yeah. So who's happier with this situation? Because obviously Liquid have a ton of scaling between their three cores. They got the Midas on Nisha, you know, great timing. But at the same time, you look across the board, the Wildcard heroes, they're getting their items as well. RCY finishing up that Blink Dagger. He's going to be ready for action very soon. And, you know, still top net worth, your Alchemist is undisturbed, Yamsun's chilling out here. Is this sort of working out the way Wildcard intended, you think?
Alright, I think both teams have like a kind of slower timing, right? Like we're gonna see this Helm come out from Fate soon. I don't think they can really do too much with it. We might see a gate movement at some point, but I think Elk's just happy farming his Radiance. You want Radiance Blink. I said in the early game too, it's hard for the supports to make moves, right? And Chen as a hero as well, you're a bit greedier. You give back in net worth at some point when you have the mech or drums or whatever team item you're going for, but that's kind of your main purpose, right? You're not a hero that gives a lot in the first 5 to 10 minutes, but once it hits 10 to 20 minutes, you know, you're a big scaling core, and then you can see Chen's kind of top of net worth, right, for supports. Yeah. So I think it's for them, it's like when their draft comes together and how Liquid can stop that from happening, slow it down, or even prevent it altogether with maybe a big team fight, maybe some dagger reveals on Silverlight.
Oh, this could be good though. That's the Helm down finish by Fade, and he immediately puts it to work. The Raw, backed up by RCY, get a big kill onto Mickey. This is the start of the timing. Probably gonna start opening up the map now on the side of Wildcard, or at least that's their aim.
I guess asleep. I don't think they can touch RCY here though. Translocator. Easy.
Dude, he just skipped over the meatball entirely. What the heck? The translocator knew. That's crazy.
This kill on Tiny is really big because it's Fade's Helm timing as well. There's a siege script down here. He has to be a little careful though. Boxy can definitely set up on him, Fade.
Fade is really, really strong though. It's 2 heroes enough to kill him. I guess the rest of Liquid is coming in, and with the Sunstrike, slightly... I thought it was going to be off the mark. It barely clips him, but it's not enough damage. RCY here to back him up. Dead shot. I think that was a dodge from RCY. That was insane reflexes on the blink. Yeah, that'll be fine.
That was kind of insane, actually.
That was kind of insane.
Blink in the west.
Yeah.
Or north, I should say.
No disrespect on RCY, man. This guy. I feel like... okay, I'm gonna say it. I know it's gonna be slightly controversial, but I think he has the potential to be up there. I think he has the potential to be a big thing, and maybe you give him 1 year, 2 years, maybe he finds himself a sort of set of veterans who can sort of take him the distance.
Yeah,
maybe it'll be this. Maybe it'll be this Wildcard stack. Maybe it'll be this Wildcard stack. Who knows?
Just another SEA player. Super high mechanical skill, need good team.
Set up here onto Big Num. Beautiful silencers. Boxy and Mickey get it done.
He has no toss. I was like, why is Mickey not tossing? He just doesn't have a point in toss.
Raw in the mid lane though.
There's a Centaur stun too.
Yeah, immediate response there from Wildcard. Great moves. Getting the kill onto Nisha. A lot more high value.
Trouble here.
Yeah, they're looking for more. I don't know whether Saberlight can actually put a stop to this Fade. Charging at full speed. He's roaring. Ready to take this tower. This is the tempo that Wildcard was set to play at from their draft. This is what they wanted to do. They seem to be executing it well.
Yeah, no, the Blink really wanted. I think the Haste Rune was coming in. Bit of luck there, but they get a pretty big kill onto Nisha. And meanwhile, all this time, Yamsu is just pushing out top lane. Radiance on the way, I believe. Has it completed, actually. Game's looking pretty nice for Wildcard right now.
I mean, all things considered, it's not like Mickey and Nisha are not farming, right? They do have the scale potential, and they have some pretty nice big stacks to go back to. Doesn't seem like Wildcard have identified that just yet.
Yeah, Nisha also going for ATOS, right, instead of the eggs. So I think they understand they do need to make a bit of pickoffs happen here and there to kind of drag out the game. I also like to see them clear his stacks soon. I'm not sure if Saberlight can take the ancient stacks, because I think if Wildcard plays on the left side of the map right now, Liquid actually do not have enough damage to kind of break through the Chen heals as well as just the Elk Radiance in front with the Tinker.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm concerned about. We can see that Saberlight was queuing up a Crimson Guard. I don't know whether that's going to change. It's an excellent item, don't get me wrong, into this matchup, but I'm worried about Liquid. I hope they don't run into some damage problems. It frequently can happen up into a Chen draft.
See a smoke on smoke action here, Saberlight. They want to make a move for the Shrine of Wisdom.
Okay, this is not happening anymore. Immediate retreat. Boxy looks to be the one to go down there. They don't even need to use the Raw. The Hawk gets it done.
He's just channeling the bird at him.
Yeah.
Shouting at his little boy. Get him! So they do protect their Shrine of Wisdom. Group up a little on the right side for Wildcard, and I guess Liquid will just take that. It's just a Boxy def. Unfortunately, have not really been able to use the RP from Saberlight.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those situations where if you're playing against anyone but a Tinker, it probably feel okay, right? Like you're thinking, okay, you know, we traded a pos 4, but 5 enemy heroes were in their triangle. It's not efficient. Yeah, not exactly, right? The Tinker can just immediately TP to the top lane, keep pushing that out, min-maxing his farm. Top 2 on the net worth, RCY as well as Yamsun. Wildcard are getting absolutely everything that they want out of this early game. Of course, I'm sure they would have liked to push the issue a bit more, maybe get some kills, but they're being very patient about their timing so far. And Liquid are trailing a little bit behind, but you won't be trailing behind yourself, at least not with this tournament, Fissure Universe Episode 4. If you make sure to follow us on our socials, you can do just that by pressing !F in the chat. Stay tuned, catch all the behind the scenes and also maybe some juicy tidbits that we don't show on the stream as well. So make sure to follow us on all our socials. Again, you can press !F. Catch that. But yeah, this has been a very slow early game, I must say. I don't know whether this was expected. I thought that one of the teams would definitely amp up the pressure a bit more, but everybody seems to be pretty happy just farming.
I feel for Liquid, it's kind of hard for them to use their spells. Like, they have this RP on Magnus, but if you look at their draft now, let's say you use RP and you kill 2 supports, for example. Like, what stops Wildcard from just running down the Tormentor, running down Roshan? That's kind of their only team fight right now, right? As long as Mickey is not alive. I did expect them to be a little bit more active in the side lanes early game, but Warcraft is, again, their heroes are a little bit cheating, you know, you have this March, you have this Acid Spray, or Insane as in Forable.
They don't see him, they choose to go for the bigger target. I don't mind that target's prioritization. Saberlight in some trouble. Yeah, the rest of the team on Liquid is here, so they're not going to end up getting anything instead as Insania's able to TP back out to safety. They still want to chase on though. They understand that they're very strong at this stage in the game and they want to force the issue. Beautiful Fear in tandem with the toss will punish Big Num for that overchase. Instead of getting an Insania kill, they get nothing at all. Wildcard overextend just a little bit. We didn't talk about this just yet, but of course the Tormentor going their way. So Big Num getting that shot on the Weaver, it definitely feels a lot more useful for a core Weaver than a support, but still a lot of good economic advantage. Sorry, going to Wildcard.
Alright, so I see Wildcard now. They have the Helm of Dom too. They have their Radiance and Blink on Alchemist. I want to see them go. Like, pop a smoke, you know, you have Hand of God. I think Liquid is still not at a point where they have a lot of damage. Yeah. I'd like to see them try to do something here. Take a fight near Roche, maybe get towards the triangle on the left side, take the top tier 1 or even the mid tier 1. Because I feel like Liquid's kind of evening out the game right now. Guess they're just waiting for eggs on Tinker. 100 gold away. Might see a smoke setup soon.
Yeah, they just finished the Helm Dom on the Beastmaster as well. Eggs on Tinker, like you said, they are closing in on the 4-staff on the Chen. I guess that's not super consequential. What about Yamsun? This could be a catch here. If I like pinging him out, but yeah, I mean his team is
2 seconds on it.
A bit too far away. They RP in advance. That's the setup. That's a very, very nice catch. Great stuff from Saberlight. Lucky Invis rune gets the job done.
Okay, setting up Dota, which is going to defend the tower here. They will lose it, so a little bit of a trade, but RP is down now. So Roche is in the top side, and if you notice what Liquid is doing, they for the past 3 minutes since minute 15, Nisha has been up here, just making sure the waves constantly pushed in. So I think this is their way of just kind of saying like, okay, you know, if you want to go Roche, it's not going to be easy for you. We're going to know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he has not left that area. Now he'll finally vacate it. Maybe expecting Wildcard to come back into this area of the jungle and start clearing out the vision. Sure enough, that's exactly what they're doing. Maintaining control of that area. But now it's a little bit tight, right? 1.5 minutes more to maybe rush this Roche if you really want to go for it. Liquid still have their tier 1 tower top to TP into for reinforcements if need be. So might not be as viable to get that Roche in the top side anymore. They'll maybe instead look towards this tier 1 tower.
My eyes is on Fade. I feel like he's the one that's kind of leading the tempo right now, right? Where which tower wants to die or Roche, what objective, it's up to me. So they go mid tower, trade for Yamsun, RP down, Fade's like, okay, top side. And we are free top tower, and that kind of opens up Roche right now.
Yeah, less than a minute. The scan comes through just to make sure the triangle is clear as well. No Liquid heroes ready to try and contest them. You can see both these teams. Very heavy priority on the stacked camps this game, just because All three cores on both sides had farmed them extremely well. Get that economic advantage. You know how it is. Demonical, yeah. That should be a very easy Roche. Liquid streaming in to try and contest. Will Wildcard keep pushing the issue? Boxy, the jump forward a bit too late though. Pierce the veil, denying any physical damage coming his way, but it's only momentary. Bit of a silence there from the calling, stops the stun from coming out, and because of that, Boxy is actually fine. So they get what they came for, Wildcard, and just back up, reset, get your cooldowns back up, and then start pressuring these towers. But look at Liquid, immediate smoke up. They want to try and punish any stragglers. Bringing out the Weaver. Immediate skewer and Fiend's Grip. Okay, well that's gonna be one kill.
Yeah, just not allowing Wildcard to kind of go back and deal with lanes. Wanna keep the map out now is where you kind of drag out the Aegis time. And it's all about Wildcard and how they catch right now. Like you notice the length of the issue. I think it's super cool from Phil. He actually went for phase boost. So this allows him to kind of catch up to heroes he's running at, right? Not something we commonly see.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more amazing Dota at Fissure Universe Episode 4. Of course, you're watching the official stream from Fissure Studios, where you can catch all the action. Well, there isn't an Earthshaker in this game, but now they're fishing for this Beastmaster. The meatball is gonna burn him up. That's a huge kill. Saberlight might have to give his life for it. They can't get the angle though, and a beautiful tornado saves the Magnus. Nice little set of plays here, Liquid catching the Beastmaster off guard. But just when you think Wildcard are the ones with the advantage in this stage of the game, they are kind of getting poked and prodded at a little bit here.
It feels like Liquid is just playing the map a little better. Wildcard with the objectives ramping up, but they are losing in net worth slightly. Used to be 6k, then 5, now 4. X complete on Nisha too. We see how much damage he does too with this max exort, right? Just any RP on any target, it feels like the hero just dies. I almost like to just see a 4-star for any form of save come out. I know Speed's going for one, but Chen's not really in the vicinity anytime.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to be nearby a meatball. He'd probably get slapped by it as well with how slow that hero is. Liquid doing an excellent job of just kind of pushing out this timing, right? It feels like Wildcard, they probably want to get something done with this Aegis, but they just haven't been able to find the opportunities amidst the pickoffs and just the constant de-pushing of the waves. That's something that I'm noticing Liquid is doing amazingly. They're always just making sure that these waves are pushed, and that's kind of surprising that they're able to do such a good job, especially up into a Tinker.
Yeah, I mean, RCY has been doing a good job of not getting caught. I think also a bit worried because I think something cool about Invoker against Tinker is you can find him with Cataclysm. Obviously with the Axe coming out now too. I think Insania has been up here for the past 3 minutes as well with this ward, just kind of looking for any solo kill, possibly on the Tinker if he comes to defend. With Cataclysm, obviously very doable.
Yeah.
I think the pressure from the map from Liquid's heroes is a bit higher right now, just because Fate has no dagger. They will smoke up though on Wildcard right now.
I'm trying to get a catch on a defender in the tier 2 bot lane. Saberlight is spotted out. An instant blink away, he saw that. Way too quick, way too quick. And I mean, even before they smoked out, Saberlight was already drawing lines around that area. He knew that they were grouped up around there. Good game sense. Saved his life, but not this tier 2. This was gonna fall regardless. So nothing much that Liquid can do about that.
There's also no one cutting mid-wave. I think this is something that's pretty important because generally what's gonna happen now is Tinker defense top, then you pressure bottom, right? While mid-wave it should be neutral. Like both teams should be cutting. Liquid from the top side and Wildcard from the bot side. Top lane pressure, man, it's so annoying. I think the most common move we'll see here, like from Wildcard, I think what they should have done is they should have smoked to the triangle. So you have this Aegis, minute and a half left, you have dagger, you leave someone bottom, you cut the wave once, and then you smoke to the left side. You get a ward there, then you start cutting waves there. That fixes your top wave problem.
Sure.
So instead of that, Wildcard goes back, and I think Liquid's kinda free right now. Like if you look at Liquid's heroes, everyone's just everywhere.
Yeah, and the most surprising part for me is they're not being punished. I guess it goes back to what you were saying in the draft where how do Wildcard catch a hero? They're at the point where Yamsun can probably blink in with a stun, but if you can't burst the hero down in time, you'll be able to escape. A lot of defensive maneuvers available to the Liquid lineup. Even if you catch one, there's no one nearby. Like Boxy's showing on this wave now. He might go down. Hops to pierce the veil in time, so he's gonna buy time. And again, you can see the Liquid heroes on the map, they do not care. They literally do not care that Boxy is dying here in this mid lane. They're just pushing out the waves, farming the side jungles. This is like, this is exactly how you need to deal with this draft, actually.
Yeah, I like to see Big Num try to cut top wave a bit more. I think he needs some net worth as well, just to be useful, because he's not really setting up anything. I don't think his team really needs him anywhere as well. Just someone to like free up the Tinker too. Misha being annoying in the bot lane as well. This team's just pushing out waves, dragging out the Aegis. I think Liquid very comfortable with how the game's going. Mickey reaching his point of the game, you know, given another 5 minutes and we'll see some Alacrity and Power Tiny.
Yeah. A Dota Plus win probability gave Liquid a 56% chance to win this game. Still pretty tight. I mean, Wildcard, they definitely have an advantage, but is their timing slowly slipping away here? It feels like they haven't really been able to do much on the map at all in the past 5 to 10 minutes, and that's even with them having an Aegis.
I feel like my issue right now is the way Wildcard is itemizing is not fitting their pace. I think they're trying to play fast, and like you see Fate, he has Phase Boots offering. You know? You just look at Yamsun, he has this SMY. So these items tell me like they want to fight down. But they also can't just... It's hard for them to find the fights. Hawk this time, Boxy's team is out.
I mean, this is the limit of what Wildcard can find, right? It's personified in that interaction right there. They try and get Boxy, he just pops the ult, and if you don't have any way to stop his DP, he's out of there. Liquid just completely non-stop spinning the map.
I'm sorry, Zenya has been here since May 15. On this top observer, he's just been there.
He's just
Liquid
chilling.
understand, that's what they need to do. They need to keep top wave in forever and ever, and every other lane is free. Like Boxy goes down, if he dies there, it doesn't really change anything. Liquid's so happy with his I say that, but they're jinxed.
Yeah, Nisha's gonna get caught. That's the huge one. That's exactly who you want to roll. Very, very nice wards set up in advance by Wildcard to catch an unsuspecting Nisha, and maybe finally this will open up the chance for Wildcard to start pushing the issue.
Yes, the Tinker kind of helps them deal with this wave issue in a way, so top lane doesn't really matter, but I want to see them choke the map. But I feel if Tinker defends top and someone cuts top wave, like, the top wave does not exist anymore, you know, and you're free to play. We also have the Shrine of Wisdom coming out soon, so I think taking aerial control there is pretty nice.
You can just see how fast Wildcard deals with these structures and objectives when they're given the chance to hit them. The question is Liquid. Nice little pullback. Fade is gone. Great catch from Saberlight.
Aghanim's reveal. Harpoon on Tiny now too, so going high ground is actually insanely hard. It has reached that point, right, where Liquid's draft is sort of coming together. We see another smoke coming out from them. They know Roshan is not too long away. 20 seconds, obviously we know a timer, but they don't. Move towards the bot side.
No, he's around smoked, but he'll be able to escape. I think kind of crazy stuff that Mickey has been able to keep up net worth wise. In fact, now he's the highest net worth in the game over the Alchemist. He's basically had a completely free game. They might just find him. Ooh, quick blink. Turns off the Radiance as well, just for additional safety. Well done.
BKB arrives now. Team's kind of grouping towards this side. Shrine spawning soon. There will be another Tormentor in like 2 minutes as well. Oh, I say that myself. Bad.
No, they got it pretty early. They got it at like what, like before it even hit 16, so 10 minutes later. On time. Nisha in the top lane. They're getting found out here. Way to stop the TP. Yule's on the weaver. Nisha, you gotta get caught again. This is gonna be rough. Can he get out of here? One more laser. He has BKB, but there's a Tiny, and that does physical damage. RCY. Ooh, that stings. You thought you were getting a free pick off onto Nisha, but the rest of the team coming through the twin gates. Good support there. Liquid punish the Tinker.
Okay, so Wildcard has been using Tinker to kind of cheat the waves, right? Now Tinker's dead for 60 seconds. Image is gonna be very, very shoved in. And kind of looking down here.
Yeah.
Sees Mickey. Can this elk even find the tiniest? 4k HP. This fight, guys. You have to stabilize. He's so tanky.
I mean, Mickey's right there. Mickey's just gonna start punching into Fade. There's a raw available, forced to use it on the Tiny to delay some of that BKB duration with a skewer back. Yamsun in trouble. The RP catching the Alchemist. You don't really have the full burst damage for him just yet. Don't have a Hand of God, but he is dropping low. Pops the BKB finally, forcing it out. Liquid should be pretty happy with that one. Didn't really need to use much, and hey, Insania also have found speed as well. They got big number, the time-lapse force. Just have to settle for the Chen.
His fights without Tinker is way too hard. It's like the main source of their damage. Fade and Yamsun just not at the point where they tear through anyone, especially Mickey is so tanky. Samurai 2 with the Crimson and Ice.
How convenient. Roche back up. Look at how fast they cleave through that thing. Mickey does a ton of damage. My goodness. He's up and he's gone. Just like that. Ages for Mickey. Game gets harder. This is kind of one of the concerns, right? When you draft a composition like this, RCY Tinker, to be respected, of course, he did great to sort of address the waves, cheat the waves, like you said, and get them through that early game. But it feels like Wildcard just didn't really have many moves to make. They were all around the map trying to find liquid heroes. Even when they did find liquid heroes, they could barely get them killed. And the whole time, even though Liquid are at a net worth disadvantage, they seem to have gotten everything they need. It's been such a peaceful, low-kill game. Liquid are just as chilling as Wildcard are.
Liquid just did a really good job of splitting the map, right? And I think Wildcard had like some small moves that they could have made. Some small moves they could have made to kind of deal with the waves, you know, like the wave cutting thing, the smoke, the map control. But ultimately, it's just, I think even this Elf's net worth, like he's below Tiny because he's the one that's part of smokes, right? Because they don't have any initiation. Fade has no blink, so every smoke needs Yamsun. I think Big Now's been part of every smoke too. I think he should be the one kind of pushing waves. But it's a bit awkward, I guess, if you're not able to run down lanes with the lineup you have on Wildcard. Whereas for Mickey, he's so farmed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Foxy, a little bit of a catchity catch.
Yeah, steady in the Martyr machines.
You just can't, you can't get RCY. Too fast. Lotus flying out for Fade. I'm just trying to picture how Wildcard comes back in this game. I feel like you can't hit high ground. If anyone gets initiated on, you're kinda dead. I also feel like this Chen has not had like any kind of huge impact. Wildcard playing a little scared. Maybe waiting for the AC, possibly onto Elf. Feeling like they don't have enough damage right now. Wait out the Aegis 3 minutes.
I don't know, these kind of games like feel so uncomfortable because you didn't even really do anything wrong or make any major mistakes, right? It's not like you lost a big fight or bet somewhere you shouldn't have or gave over an objective you shouldn't have. It just kind of feels like Liquid outplayed you on the map in terms of rotations. And is that what it was? Is that just it? Like they got outclassed in terms of map movement?
I think that was definitely a big factor, or at least I feel like that was pretty significant. I feel like they did have timing that they could kind of play around and get a bit more out of. I'm not sure if they could go high ground though. I think that was like my biggest concern with that draft. Just going high ground into this Magnus Muerta Invoker is not simple. Oh my god.
That's the what? Hey, they make it look easy. They make it look so easy, and the second toss back, he might just have to buy back, but it's too late. The Beastmaster's just instantly dead. That looked so simple. That they didn't even need to break a sweat.
Just press R, lol. Oh my god, are they actually just gonna resolve this? Okay, what's gonna stop him from hitting Fear Force? They don't know Tinker has buyback though. I'm gonna safe route, gonna go bottom. How do you stop this, man? Alacrity, Empower, Tiny with Aegis. This is what they've played for.
I feel like in this patch, one thing you need to be prepared for is the Tiny, and I just don't know whether Wildcard necessarily thought about countering what Liquid had. It just kind of felt like they were focused on their own draft and how it came together, but clearly with the way that it's lining up into what Liquid have on the table, just doesn't stack up.
Back here. 20 seconds is you're gonna lose your Rex for sure. Probably waiting for Fade on the Beast.
Perhaps. Yamsun immediately controlled up. This is troublesome. Popping the BKB now to avoid that skewer. Mickey will just decide to lose that Aegis. Nisha's in trouble. That's gonna be huge if they get the kill on the Invoker. And Yamsun able to chop him down. That's a good start to the fight, but what else can Wildcard find? They still don't want to buy back on the Tinker, so maybe that's just the end of the chase. Sun comes out. Saberlight caught for a little bit here. Still should be able to just skewer away. Oh, okay. He found himself on a very convenient location to escape. Insania's likely going to drop as well, but they can't get the touch onto Boxy. I mean, the Nisha kill is pretty huge, but the fact that they can't find anyone else, that's a little bit tough. Mickey is going to get an AD rune, hide away.
Oh, if you can do this.
Yeah, this could be a little scary. Their vision. E-Blade just lasering away. Where's the help from Liquid? Don't have any continued detection. He'll just be able to escape.
That's the way. Team's coming back too. Be a little careful here, Wildcard. No chemical rage. Okay, we'll just chill out.
Dire are scanning.
I feel like the fights are so simple for Liquid. Like any initiation feels like the fight just ends. You pop BKB as a grip too. Something we didn't talk about is there's not really any grip cancels, right? You have 2 and 1 heals.
This feels like such an uphill battle for Wildcard here. Yeah, the Tiny. The Tiny is comparable to the Tinker in terms of hero damage, and this guy has been lasering non-stop. So I think that tells you a pretty clear story about the current situation in the game.
Mickey was buying a refresher. Hold up. Yeah, he had a refresher queued up. And then he bought a blink. He's like, Swift blink, okay. I'll have this recipe.
Okay.
Refresher on Nisha too. I missed that one.
I mean, the refresher recipe is like 200, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's like a steak.
It's a fake. You think I have refresher next fight, guys? An investment.
Yeah, he's gonna get the refresher eventually, right? I mean, they don't seem to be in much of a rush to end this game. Jump forward, Yamson with the catch, popping the BKB, chopping away. The force staff a bit too late. Will just force his corpse a little bit further from its death location.
Liquid might still want to stick around here. They have every spell. I don't know if Insania is super important to the fights.
And also BKB chemical rage used, right? Bit of a mini timing here.
Wildcard not gonna stick around though. Just gonna go back to farm. I think his beast has kind of fallen off as well in terms of impact. He's really just a roar and aura right now. We see how fast the Tiny shreds through all the units. Big items coming up. I guess Lincoln's for RCY is gonna be some form of protection. Obviously, he still can just get RP'd straight up. We have Glimmer on Nisha too.
It does feel like one of those games where the Tinker has to pull some magic out of the hat. I don't know what he can do. I don't know how he's gonna do it. But if anyone has some sort of an idea, it might have to be RCY.
That's a very high win probability. Lincoln's for Saberlight too, so more protection from Mickey. Just a way to kind of let him siege high ground. Alacrity, Lincoln's, and power. I mean, Liquid know what they're doing with this draft.
Oh, a little bit of skill off. they missed the skewer, but it doesn't even. You just explode. You just disappear out of my screen. Oh my god.
IRL bug. One step and die.
Man.
Mickey even care about this march. I feel like it just hit high ground anyway. Let's see, there's a little bit of a scan here.
Dire's top tower is under
There goes your ancient creeps.
Okay, so what's the play here from Wildcard? It's less than 1k gold lead. Surely this game is still somewhat, at least net worth wise, even. Is there any play or any move you can make? What do you need to do?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
I actually don't have an answer.
That's fair. If you had an answer, you might be the coach of Wildcard. Mid lane, they got the catch on the fade. Very easy two-prong pick-off. Mickey on the top lane. Fiend's grip onto Yamson. He can't pop his BKB. He's in trouble. Nice E-Blade save. Lets him pop the BKB. Great play from RCY. But everyone's going to get clipped by the tornado now. Speed is in trouble. They can just back up. Go again. Yamson just throwing out one last little concoction. Saberlight playing around with them though. The slow from the ice wall, it's very hard for them to continue on. RP, Cataclysm, that bug still managing to survive because there's a lot of creeps helping, but not against the Tiny. Mickey will finish him off. And Mickey does have to be careful. He doesn't have a BKB any longer, but he still has quite a bit of HP. We'll just soft commit, pull in the Yamson Alchemist, and GG is called. That was a mauling coming out from Liquid. It was a very quiet game for most of it, but they managed to get it done. This is kind of the expected outcome. And you can see Liquid completely unfazed. They're not even too bothered about that. It's just